Hi there, it's Kalymnios from the Thought Gym, and in today's class what I'd like us to focus on is balance. That's what we're trying to achieve in yoga after all, and probably in life in general, is a little sense of balance. Now we're not always going to be perfectly on balance, so we're going to wobble a little bit today just like we wobble through life. And the idea is that if we wobble, if we fall, we just get back up and we carry on, and that's what we're going to do today. So let's start in a standing position today. Feet about hip width apart, knees nice and soft, shoulders soft, jaw soft, and we're going to just do a standing meditation to start with. So we're going to close our eyes. We're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to breathe into the belly. And now, in terms of balance, we're going to start to explore our balance as we're standing here. So we've got both our feet on the ground. However, for a lot of people, that isn't actually an even weight distribution through both feet. So with our eyes closed, to give us a little bit more sense of where we are, we're going to take it to the extremes. So what I mean by that is with the eyes closed, the body relaxed, the knees nice and soft, just start transferring some of your weight more towards the toes. Not so that you fall over necessarily, but just so you get a sense of how far you need to go. Because we may put more of our weight in our heels and we don't realise it. So now we've gone to our toes. Let's go all the way back to our heels. Again, we're not looking to fall over, we're just looking to test where those limits are. And then take it back to somewhere in the centre. Now that might be where you started, it might be that you've worked out that actually your centre of balance from the toes to the heels is somewhere different. And now we're going to do the same thing from side to side. So taking the weight all the way over to the left. Again, not to fall over, but just to see if you can get maybe sort of 60, 70, 80% of your weight onto your left foot, even the outer edge of that left foot, and then take it back over to the right. Again, maybe 60, 70, 80% of the weight on the right foot, maybe on the outer edge of that right foot. And now see if you can take it somewhere dead centre. Now it might be roughly where you were before, but you may realise that actually you'll put more weight through the right foot or the left foot, and actually the balance that you want is somewhere else. Continue to breathe into the nose, into the belly, out of the belly, out of the nose. And then gently bringing your hands into prayer position. Thinking about your practice today, maybe what you want to focus on. Maybe that's balance in life, balance in your practice. Maybe you want to give balance to someone beyond yourself. Lowering the forehead, the gaze, fluttering the eyes open, and then coming into the space. Okay, so let's start warming up a little bit with some sun salutations. So standing at the front of our mat, feet together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Nice soft knees, and for the first few, bent knees, rounded back if you want, coming up and even going down. Just warm up a little bit. Okay, so inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, soft knees, maybe a straight back as you swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins, thighs, or even the floor, taking a flat back. Exhale as you take the hands to the floor, stepping the right leg back, followed by the left leg, lower both knees towards the ground. Inhale here, exhale, shift the weight forward, elbows stay over the wrist, chest comes down. Inhale brings the chest forward, elbows draw backwards, elbows point towards the feet, shoulder blades down the back into our cobra. Inhale here, exhale as you tuck the chin round through the spine. Maybe coming through a child's pose temporarily as you stretch the arms out in front or tucking the toes and coming straight into a downward dog. Pedaling the feet out, walking one foot and then the other. Okay, we'll start with a little three-legged dog balance here. So inhale, right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog, pointing the foot down towards the ground, and then step in the right leg between the hands. From here, step the left leg between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Soft knees, rounded spine as you roll back up vertebra by vertebra. Arms coming overhead, gentle back bend here. Inhale, exhale again. Soft knees, flat back, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, step the left leg back, followed by the right leg. Lower both knees towards the ground. Inhale here. Exhale as you bring the chest towards the floor, elbows tuck in towards the ribs, coming down through your half chaturanga. Inhale into that baby cobra, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, gazing forward. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding through the spine. Come into that child's pose temporarily before tucking the toes, elevating the hips and drawing yourself into that inverted V shape, that downward dog. Rotating those elbow creases forwards. Inhale, exhale as you draw the hips up towards the sky, pressing the chest towards the thighs. Inhale brings the left leg up into our three-legged dog here, squaring the hips, drawing that left hip down as the foot comes down in between the hands on the exhale. Long lunge. Inhale, bring the right leg to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Round through the knees and the spine as you roll up vertebra by vertebra. Arms coming overhead. Inhale, gaze up towards the sky as you engage the glutes and the thighs in this gentle back bend here. And then exhale, swan dive all the way down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Step in the right leg back, followed by the left leg. Again, you can come to knees, chest and chin, or you can take a full chaturanga here as you lower into that push-up position, bringing the shoulders down to elbow height. Inhale draws you up into an upward dog or a cobra, and exhale, tuck the chin, elevate the hips, come through the midline as you come into downward facing dog. From here, inhale the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that right leg between the hands. So we're in this long lunge here. So from here, inhale, come up into a Superman pose. So you're drawing the chest towards the thighs. The arms are going towards the top corner of your room, palms facing each other here. Activate the core, press out through the back heel, press into the front big toe. Knee is over ankle, so right knee is over ankle. From here, this is where we start our first balance. And this might be a bit tricky for me because I've got a wardrobe in the way, but your arms are going to stay out straight. You lean forward, shift the weight, shift the weight, shift the weight. I'll just put one arm out here. And you're going to have arms outstretched, warrior three. So left hip is down, left foot is flexed or demi-pointed, engaged, right thigh is engaged, pressure through the right big toe, gaze down towards the mat here, both arms outstretched. And then from there, coming back into our Superman pose, lowering the left leg nice and gently, as if you're stepping on eggshells so there's not a sound made. And then from here, lower the hands down towards the ground. Step the right leg back. Inhale here. Exhale, come down through that chaturanga. Keep the elbows tucked in towards the ribs. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Tucking the chin, rolling back. Pulling through the midline into the hips. Downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet out. Inhale and exhale. From here, inhale the left leg up towards the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step that left leg through between the hands. Again, here, we're setting up. Left knee over left ankle. Pressure through that left big toe. energy out of that right heel. From here, we raise the torso, raise the arms towards the top corner of your room. Gaze down towards your big toe. We take our Superman pose as we face the palms towards each other, engage the core, engage the arms, strong back here. From here, we float that back leg up as we shift the weight forwards, both arms outstretched. If you don't have room like me, you can take the arms behind you, but otherwise warrior three as we find our right hip drawing down, pressure through that left big toe, gaze down towards the mat, left thigh is engaged, right foot is in demi-point or in flex. So demi-point is where you point with the ball of your foot, so as if you're on tiptoes on the floor. Arms engaged, palms facing each other here. And then again, as we come down into our Superman pose, we're going to softly bend that left knee, gently, gently, gently finding the mat with the right foot. Hopefully no sound being made. From there, releasing both hands towards the ground into our deep lunge here, and then stepping the left leg back. One more half vinyasa as we lower down through our Chaturanga. Shoulders come to elbow height. Inhale draws the chest forward, open up through the chest, draw the shoulders down the back body, gaze forwards here. Thighs engaged off the ground. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, tucking the chin, elevating the hips up nice and high towards the sky, rolling over the feet, coming into downward facing dog. From here, bending the knees, stepping or jumping to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Again, bent knees, roll up vertebra by vertebra, arms come up overhead. Inhale, up, and exhale, Tadasana. Taking a break here for a moment. Coming back to your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, ready for one more. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. Exhale, swan dive, bent knees, straight back, all the way down towards the ground. If your legs are warmed up, you can use straight legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale as you step the left leg back, followed by the right leg. Inhale into our plank position here. Exhale brings us down into our Chaturanga. So elbows stay tight in and over the wrist as we come down. So we shift the weight forward, we lower down towards our shoulder height or our elbow height. Inhale draws the chest forwards and thighs are off the ground as we gaze forwards. Inhale and exhale, tucking the chin, rolling back vertebra by vertebra as we come into our downward dog. So fingers nice and spread, index finger or middle finger pointed forward, elbow creases turning towards the front of the mat, biceps following, ears by the biceps as you're trying to bring that chest towards the thighs, even though they'll never ever touch, that's where you're going. And then energy is pulling the heels down towards the floor, even if they're not touching the floor, even if they're not anywhere near the floor. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale, imagine you're breathing deep into the lower ribs, expanding the ribs, expanding the lower back. Exhaling there. Inhale, right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that right leg through. Okay, so we're in our long lunge here. Now this is a point where for some of you it might be nice if you have a block or a book to hand. Probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the class, but I'm just thinking about it now really. If not, it doesn't really matter. We're going to come into half moon. So similarly from before, we're going to float forwards. But we're going to place our right hand diagonally outside of our right foot. So that may be on the fingertips, it may be on a block, it may be on a book. or you may float it up in a moment, we'll see. So right hand to the corner of the mat, float the left leg up. As we float up, we start opening up the left hip towards the left side. Maybe putting the left hand on the hip, engage that left leg, engage the standing leg. Then from here, if you're comfortable, you may even bring the hand a little bit more center. You may even come to the fingertips. If you're on the fingertips or if you're floating up, look down is probably best. If you've got a stable base, you can potentially take the right hand or the left hand up, and you can also look up towards that left hand. So that left hand is engaged, its fingers are engaged, it's like you're high-fiving someone. The right leg, the right thigh is engaged, pressure through the right big toe. If your neck doesn't like looking up, don't do it. Look to the side or look down towards the floor. You can, of course, float the bottom arm up as well if you want. And then from here, we're going to softly see if we can come back into that long lunge position. Creeping back down, finding long lunge, stepping the right leg back. Our half vinyasa here, so we lower down into our chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, and rolling back, downward facing dog. Okay, have a little pedal through the feet here, and then left leg inhales up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that left leg through between the hands. So the left hand is going to come to the corner of the mat, just outside maybe the left foot. Maybe you even have it in the center. From here, we float the back leg up whilst drawing the right hand to the hip. From here, straighten the left leg. Open up and stack the right hip over the left. Engage that left leg, engage the right leg. And then maybe you raise the right hand up towards the sky, and maybe you look up towards the sky as well. If you're comfortable here, you can stay here. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can see if you can lift the bottom fingers up off of the floor. So literally the balance is just coming from one leg. You may need to take the gaze back down for this, or you can challenge yourself, close the eyes, look up, anything like that to test yourself a little bit. If you fall out of it, that's fine. Just come back in. And then from there, we're going to very slowly come back into that long lunge. Stepping the left leg back. Engage the core. Elbows stay over the wrists. As we shift the weight forwards, come down through our half vinyasa to our chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Draw the shoulder blades down the back body. And then exhale, coming back, downward facing dog. From there, bending the knees, looking between the hands and stepping or floating or flying towards the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, roll back down. Bend the knees, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Arms coming up over the head, gentle back bend. Exhale, coming back into Tadasana. Okay, taking a little breather here. Let me just tuck this in as it keeps floating up on me. All right, so we'll take tree pose now. Variations with tree pose. If you're mirroring me, then you're going to start by standing on your right leg. So engaging that right thigh. Then you can place the left foot just on top of the foot if you want. If you want, you can place it against the heel or against the calf, or even above the knee inside towards the hip. For me, I'm going to just keep it here, nice and simple on the calf. Keep both hips square, whilst at the same time drawing that right knee, your left knee even, your left knee out towards the side. And then just bring the hands into prayer position for now. If you want to experiment with hand positions, this is your option. You can have your palms together like this. If you want, you can grab hold of opposite elbows behind you, open up the chest, or even take a reverse prayer here if you wish. If you want something different, take the arms up over the head into an actual tree, maybe taking a mudra as well, And if you want more of a challenge, you can even look up, you can even close the eyes, you start to wave a bit like trees in the wind, and then they're stable, they've got good roots. If you fall out of it, just come back into it, doesn't matter. Holding, 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 and then gaze back towards me. And then from here, we're going to take our figure 4 balance. So bringing the ankle over the right knee, and so the left ankle is over the right knee, and then we create this figure 4, and we gently start to sit into our imaginary seat behind us as we bring our hands into prayer position. Good. So we gaze down, we engage this crossed foot, so the left foot is active, and your right thigh may well be burning a bit now, okay? Okay, and then from here we're going to carry on, raising up, bring the left knee in front of us. Taking the foot behind us, grabbing it with the left hand, we're going to start to come into dancer's pose. Now your right thigh is probably burning, I know mine is. Knees together, grab hold of the inside instep of the foot. From here, raise the right hand, and then kick into the left hand, kick, kick, kick. The kick in motion is what's going to bring the chest down. Keep the hips square as possible as you point the hands or the fingers towards the front on the right hand. Kick, 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 kick. Finding peace in this dancer's pose. Soft bend in the right knee as you slowly start to draw back up. Bring both knees together, release the left foot, and then just walk on the spot. Maybe grab your fists and just release some of the tension that might well be in that right buttock, if not the other one, but definitely for me it's in the worked out one. And then we start on the other side. So rooting down through that left foot. Bring in the right foot somewhere along the left foot. So either just resting on the foot is fine, against the heel is fine, above the knee or underneath the knee. Hips are facing forward, knee is out. You will find that your balance is different on each leg. I typically find that my right leg is a little bit weaker than my left for balancing, which is what I'm on right now, but you're on your left leg because you're mirroring me. Again, hands come into prayer position to start with, and then you can decide to take any hand position you want. So in front in prayer, reverse prayer, or grab hold of the opposite elbows, or bringing the arms up into a mudra here, looking up, maybe to challenge the balance a little bit more, closing the eyes, challenging the balance, close, open, just see what you can do. Doesn't matter if you fall, doesn't matter if you wobble. This is what life is all about. Wobbling, falling, getting back into it. Good. Slowly coming back into prayer position in front of the heart center. Then we're going to take that right ankle, cross it over the left knee. Again, activate the right foot. Sit back into that imaginary chair as we take this figure 4 or seated pigeon if you like, bringing the hands into prayer position. So active right foot, and sit into that imaginary chair as best you can. Balancing here, breathing, looking about 3 feet in front of you on the floor is probably going to be easier. That's something that's not moving. Good. And then you're probably feeling the burn in that left thigh now. I'm feeling it in my right thigh. We're going to slowly come up, bring the knee forward and then back. Then we take the instep of that left foot, bring the knees together, opening up the shoulders, raise the left hand up towards the sky, kick into that right foot, kick, 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 kick. That kick in motion is drawing the chest down. Press through that standing big toe, engage the standing leg. Maybe fingers pointing forwards, maybe taking a mudra of your choice here. Focused on something that's not moving in front of you. Finding peace, kicking, kicking, kicking into that right hand. Slowly soft bending the left knee, both knees meet, and then releasing and walking through the feet, just shuffling, kicking, 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 and tapping the bottom there as well. All right, let's just dust all that off with the Vinyasa before we take it to the floor and start to relax. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, fold, forward fold over the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, step or jump back into high plank. Low plank or Chaturanga, elbows tuck in towards the ribs. Inhale into your upward dog or cobra. Draw the shoulder blades down the back body. And then tucking the chin, elevating the hips, rolling back, downward facing dog. Pedaling through the feet. One more time here. And then finding stillness in that downward dog. And then bending the knees, stepping or jumping towards the front of the mat and coming to a seated position. Okay. One more little balance that we're going to try on the floor here is with our rolling forwards and backwards and balancing on our hip bones. So we're going to have our knees bent here, hands underneath the knees. And I'm just seeing if I've got enough mat space here, so I might come forward a little bit. And then we're going to just roll back. And then we're going to come to a balance here. So a bit like a boat pose or a supported boat pose. If you want, you don't need to actually even have your hands, and you can raise your legs a little bit higher or even higher as you roll back. And then you come into maybe a boat pose. Okay, so you can support it. You can just roll forwards and backwards. The idea is just to find balance in that seated position. Okay. Now, if you want it a little bit more challenging, you can take the peace fingers to the toes. And firstly, you can have almost like a happy baby where you've got your knees bent and you can roll forwards and backwards. Or what you can do is you can see if you can start to straighten your legs and take the rolling that way, and if you fall, you come back, and then you start to work out, where do I need to be for this? So just rolling onto the spine, finding your balance as you come back up. Okay, maybe even putting a smile on your face as well. Good, holding that balance there. Bring the chest forward, shoulder blades down, and then finally bringing the feet together. And then we're going to release the feet to the mat, and we start to release into our Shavasana. So rolling vertebra by vertebra down to the floor, stretching the feet out towards the corners of the mat, and out the toes to flop open, palms to be about 6 inches away from the waist, palms facing upwards here, neck nice and long. Finding the hardest balancing pose now, which is our inner balance, our peace. And the Shavasana is maybe the hardest pose of all yoga poses for many people. Just allowing there to be balance in the thoughts as they come in and out, balance in the body, balance in the satisfaction of the work that's been done. Nothing to think about. Just breathe naturally without forcing it, without paying particular attention to it. Allow the body and the mind to find its own balance. Starting to take some deeper breaths into the belly. course, if you want to stay here longer, by all means stay here longer, but otherwise let's start to wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Rotate through the wrists and rotate through the ankles. Taking it one way, then the other way. And bringing the legs together, taking the arms over your head to the floor behind you, stretching from your fingertips to your toes. And bringing the knees in towards the chest, hugging yourself tightly, telling yourself something nice about yourself, even if it's you gave a new balancing sequence ago, or you fell and you got back up again. Always good. Then rolling over to your left or your right into the fetal position, maybe making a pillow with the hands. Keeping the eyes closed, keep your attention inwards, focus towards your third eye, that space in the centre of your forehead, just above the eyebrows, your seat of intuition. Keep that attention focused there with closed eyes, just coming up to seated, cross-legged or kneeling or whatever is your preference on the mat. Taking a moment here, bringing the hands into prayer position in front of the heart centre. Reminding ourselves about this idea of balance as we try and strive towards balance, but recognising that we'll never always be in complete balance. There's always a little bit of something that's going to take us off balance, and the idea is to work out what is going to bring us back into balance and practice coming back into balance, knowing that it's only fleeting and there'll be something to knock us off balance again. And that's all we're trying to do in yoga, in life, is move forward, stay in balance. And if you think about it, we're always, when we're moving forward, falling. And why I say that is, when you think about walking, I say to people, is just a controlled fall. Okay? And we need to go off balance in order to move forwards in life. Just like we need to go off balance, but maintain that balance when we come off it, when we move forward in walking. Raising your prayer towards your third eye, your forehead, we ask that we have the wisdom to watch our thoughts. Lowering our prayer towards our mouth or our throat chakra, we ask that we have the restraint to watch our words, especially when dealing with other people, but also the compassion to be mindful of our own internal dialogue. Finally, lowering our hands towards our heart centre, we ask that we have the strength and courage to do whatever is right and necessary, even when it's not the most preferred or desired path. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing with me today on this balance-flavoured yoga session. Please do connect with me further. The Thought Gym is all my social media handles on all platforms, and also head to thethoughtgym.com where you can find a free energy assessment and tons of videos on mindset, resilience, health, well-being, how to feel superhuman, how to be maybe a super yogi and operate in life at that level that you really want to. So I hope to see you at thethoughtgym.com or on one of my social media platforms. Until next time that I see you on the mat, namaste.